Hey, I told y'all I was gonna get active for y'all. So, listen, man, Green Name Gang, I love y'all. This was like, this has thrown my day completely off, but I'm gonna try to sneak this in. I got 45 minutes to get through. Not a lot of throws, so we're gonna get straight into it. This is Watch the Film, Hank Brown. Um, we're going to take a look at all of his throws versus I put the full video up for everybody just to be able to see the throws, but we're going to go in a little bit more in depth into it and talk about what we see from the film. But let's get straight to it. Watch the film, baby. All right, this is versus Maryland again. This was late game, fourth quarter. We got Hank Brown in here, and he has a 11 personnel set right here. This is Michael Riley, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Cobb is the running back. Jay Fair there in the slot. Camden Brown out here. And I believe Shane Hooks, or excuse me, Caleb Burton is your other receiver out this way. Maryland's going with their standard 4-2-5. Looks like they're presenting in a 2 deep, and they've got man up on the outside. So what you're looking at here pre-snap is how are they accounting for this guy and this guy, right? They're manning up right here, and they can roll coverage over the top of these two. So pre-snap, that's what he's looking at here. Let's try to take a look and see what happens. We get into the play, and he decides to go to that slot matchup one-on-one right there. Or excuse me, he hits this to Camden Brown. So Camden Brown's going to come in here, and he's going to run this little route right here, and he's going to get free. So back it up, look at the route concept. You get this route here. You're going to get an out route there, and then you're going to kind of get this this little comeback route here. And he's working this concept to this side, right? Because you've got man pre-snap. Again, let's look at this. They're showing man. He's going to bail out in his coverage, which means now I don't know if this is a design of they're going to come and they're going to run this situation. But since it's man coverage, that he just doesn't want to allow himself to get beat deep because, they got to figure out what they're going to do. Let's look at the safeties, right? He doesn't want to get beat deep. This safety is creeping up right here, right? And so you've got straight up man. He doesn't want to get beat deep. So this route that's going to stop short right here should be open if you throw it with good timing. Ball's out right now. And Camden Brown is coming back out of his break. So this ball is in the air. Listen, Camden Brown is not somebody who is great at getting out of his breaks. So for him to have this kind of separation at the top of the route means Hank threw it with some anticipation. He anticipated where he was supposed to be stopping. Cam works his way back to the football. And because the ball is on time, you get an opportunity for Cam to turn and get the first down after the catch. This is what I'm talking about throwing with anticipation and timing. So, all right, let's move along in this and get to this next one. All right, you've got, again, 11 personnel. You got your tight end right here on this one. You're going to the opposite side with your receivers here. And again, they give this 2-man high shell, but it looks like they're going to drop into a deep third unless one of these comes up, and then you're going to have, like last time, this is what they replaced with here, right? Nobody's covering the slot. So this looks like either zone or you're going to get pressure, right? So what you're looking at as a quarterback in this scenario is this guy going to come on a blitz? And if he is, you've got a quick throw right here to behind him. And depending upon what the linebackers are doing here. And if it's man right here, then you have a lot of cushion to just be able to throw this stop route here into this space. So you're going to need your outside guy to clear, or you're going to be running, I don't know what the concept is. You can run double slants, and this second guy in is going to be open. But let's just kind of see how he navigates this, right? They end up not bringing anybody, right? He feigns the blitz, but then he drops into a short zone. So you've got a bunch of cushion out here. And this is where he's going to hit him over the top based upon the route, right? Because these guys are in deep thirds, right? Any route that threatens deep, he's got to respect that, right? So he's got Hank Brown has a high-low read on this safety right here. So when we threaten him deep, but we have this route going over the top, All you're looking to see is, does this safety continue to get depth, or does he come on this route that's right here? Pause for that, saying he came on the route. But does he come forward on the route right there? Jay Fair stops his route right here at the sticks. Safety drives on that. We're going to throw it right over the top over him. Right? It's just a simple high-low read of what you've got, because though this is a three-man shell over to the top and routes that are running to the middle shouldn't be effective, because you have someone threatening his deep third here in the middle, this becomes a two-man read. And so any route that's going to break between these two should be open. We threaten the middle deep. You've got the route behind him now open because it turns it into a cover two look, right? We get out here and we let it fly in behind this safety. You run the route in front of this guy who can't get beat deep. You don't want to get beat over the top. And you just drop it in. And placement on this is everything, right? He's throwing this from outside the opposite hash, and he's going to drop this where the receiver doesn't have to run upfield to go get it. He has to run across field to the open grass to go get it, right? So it's away from where the defender is. So you're throwing it from, he was lined up, the quarterback in essence was somewhere in this area, and he's throwing it across the field here, up the field. So it allows for your receiver to run underneath this, away from the coverage. And as we've seen recently, Caleb Burton is getting tracked down. Apparently, Caleb Burton getting tracked down in the open field is not new. So my boy just don't have the afterburners in the open field, because there's no reason why, with this level of separation, I don't care how fast this dude is, you should be able to run away from him and go score on this play. They do eventually score, but yeah, it's clear Caleb Burton don't have him the breakaway speed. Good route runner. That top end speed ain't there. Jazzy, appreciate the super chat here, says, what's up, Pete's? What's up, Ike? It's a new day regardless of the outcome. It is. You got a new quarterback, so it's definitely a new day. All right, let's keep this thing in motion. Moving on to the next play here. This is after not getting actually, I think they ran it in for the touchdown. So this is the 2-point conversion here. All right, so what you're going to end up getting is a corner fade here, if I'm not mistaken, to Rivaldo Fairweather. This is what we're trying to throw, right? So you get the slant underneath from Cam Brown. He's going to run up and he's going to run a slant underneath here. And, I'm going to be honest with you, and I've not looked at this play intently a lot. The better decision probably is to throw this slant here into the middle of the back of the end zone to Cam, because he won on this. Now, what you've seen from Coach Freeze / Coach Nix out of this very same scenario is you're not going to get, if you notice at the start of this route, what they call the bottom of this route, he gives a little shake because he's trying to win this slant, right? And so this is a two-way decision that you're getting out of your quarterback in this instance. What Coach Freeze, Coach Nix ran last week, or for week 1 versus A&M, is this is actually, he's just going to go run directly at this guy, and you're going to get a delayed loop around release from the inside receiver, so that you're going to get a natural pick and make them navigate this a little bit differently. They actually, the way that this is, the concept of this actually allows them to navigate this well if they want to pass this off, but they didn't. They stayed true to it. Probably the better decision in this scenario is to throw this right around the middle of the end zone with a little air underneath it and let Cam Brown go run underneath that to get there. So, again, not a bad, let's just look at where the throw is. You put it in a place, and it's not a great throw either, right? So this is probably one of the worst throws that he had on the night, because you put this maybe a little bit lower and more kind of in the area up here in the front of the end zone, then it's a true back shoulder. You're making this where he's got to be a crazy good athlete to come down with that. So probably not his best throw, and probably not the best decision initially off of this. From a design standpoint, though, again, Coach Hugh Freeze, Coach Nix probably designing this very differently than what was designed on this play. So you'd get a different outcome just from the play design, whether or not they were switching that. So, and if they were to switch it in that scenario, then you'd probably get your receiver work to this and then release again. So you look to see if they switched it, get off of it, and you come back here to this route that should be open to the back of the end zone. You come, you stop, present yourself. If they're not, if the rub doesn't work, then you continue the route to the back of the end zone, and then it becomes a leverage thing with your big body outside receiver. So, there is that right there. Again, not a terrible throw or decision, but it's not the best, right? You had an opportunity there to get that 2-point conversion with a better throw and or decision. So again, Hank Brown's not perfect. He's not going to be perfect in this game. Let's move forward. Next possession here. You have what is a 4 receiver presentation, but this is a tight end. So it's 11 personnel with a 4 wide look. The decision to go to here to the check down, right? So you've got what essentially looks like, man coverage here to the outside. And they look like they're actually they're running zone to the outside. So notice he looks here to the right side. Initially, his head is going to this direction. What is the look that they're giving me? They give me zone. All right, let me get off of this, because where he wants to likely go with the football is right here to Jay Fair. But this guy's sinking in underneath that. He could have potentially, based on how he ran this route, this guy's giving that he's giving him the outside, and it looks like Shane Hooks is running this up the sideline, right? So this is a straight go route, 9 ball right here. So he's reading high low right here. He's like, okay, I don't have that comfortably. I could throw a jump ball between a 50-50 type receiver up here, but this DB is playing for that. So let me get off of that. It's first down. I don't need to take a shot. My other option is come back here to the middle of the field. Linebacker sinking underneath this route. You've got deep help over here. Just get to my check down. Let him go and get some yardage. This is good quarterback play. Again, I get everybody who is saying, oh, it was against Maryland. Oh, this was there. But it doesn't matter. The defense reads the same way. You're reading the defense. Cool. They're in zone to this side. Let me get to the opposite. Let me get off of this, because that's not where my next read is. He read to the opposite side of the field. Get to your check down. That's quarterbacking. That's what you need to do as a quarterback in these scenarios. I'm not going to get stuck on it. I'm going to go through the progressions and get the ball. It's first down. There's 5 minutes left in this game. We've got time to not have to force something up here just because Shane Hooks is a great athlete and he's one-on-one with a safety. No, that's not the right read. Get off of that read. Go to the other side. Hopefully he continues to do things like this. This is a play that highlights your ability to go through your progressions in your reads. All right. So again, we look to this side. Are they playing man or zone? You see them drop back into the zone here, and you've got this high-low read right here. You could force this, a layered throw over the top to try to get this to Jay Fair. Jay Fair's not a big target, though. So trying to get this over this DB/linebacker right here and drop this into Jay Fair is going to take a heck of a throw, and one that if he lets go right now, he maybe has, right? But I don't need to force this, right, to Shane Hooks up the sideline. Let me get off of that and get over here to the other side, because nobody has come down here and taken the flat. Everybody here is dropping back in the coverage. Nobody's got the flat. Cool. Let's get underneath to the flat and go let my athlete go make something happen in space. So good job there. All right. Let's get to this next one. So I don't really have the pre-snap on this, unfortunately, but looks as if, again, we're same personnel out here. We're in 4 wide, 3 receiver set to this side, and he's looking to see what he's got. Again, I understand Maryland's playing deep, trying to not to get beat deep again, because they just got beat on the last drive with the deep shot. So they're dropping everybody in coverage underneath. Cool. Let's not force it. I got a little drag route here underneath with Cam Brown. Let me throw it to him while he's still got room to be able to maneuver in space. and then let him go be an athlete. Nothing difficult about that. Let me just get to what they're giving me. That the saying is you don't go broke taking a profit. He's just out here taking the profit that's available to him. All right. 2x2 scenario here rather than the 3x1 like they had on the last drive. Again, Maryland's going to be playing everything deep. So the underneath stuff is available to them immediately, right? We can go to this stuff. We can go right here immediately. I'm going to get to my check down quickly because, again, nobody's out here with him, and I trust my guy in space to get out here and make something happen. So nothing super exotic happening here at the end of the game. Maryland's playing not to lose at this point in time. So this second drive, as they start to press up into past the 50, though, you're going to see Maryland change their strategy, of course, because there's less space to operate. But let's take a look. 3x1 situation here. And you're going to throw your slants, right? So you've got essentially a clearing route right here in the slot / tight end, and you've got double slants in here behind that. He throws this to the first guy through, which is Jay Fair. But number one, you love the fact how Jay Fair, seeing this guy right here, works his way back to the football to change the angle that this guy has to attack him. The throw is out in front that allows him to do that, and then he catches this and gets upfield. This is what you want to see from not just your quarterback, but your receiver. When he gets here to the top of this route, he realizes, all right, if I continue this route in here, yeah, I'm going to catch the football, but I'm going to get killed. And Hank Brown puts it out here in front of him to allow him to go get it, attack the football in the air, and then you change the angle that this guy is pursuing with, and you get upfield to go get extra yards. But this is just a good, quick read. He had both of these available to him, 2nd and 6. He hits the first one through, but the ball placement is what you really love about this, and then the adjustment from the receiver. Because this linebacker had initially, right? So this actually ends up being 3 slants here because this linebacker initially is playing in the passing lane here, right? He's taking this away. So now the reason why this ends up being so open right here is because of the reaction to the ball in the air, right? And you've got the safety over the top. So he's basically reading this guy right here. They've got a bunch of horizontal stretches, but this is the guy that they're trying to test horizontally, right? So he's got to play essentially 2-on-1 here in the middle. He drops underneath this one. We're going to throw it to the guy who's running the route underneath him. Even if we catch this and he's tackled immediately, we're in 3rd and 1. But what makes this not be 3rd down is, again, good throw out here, not too hot, out in front, and then a good move by your slot receiver to be able to change the angle and get upfield to be able to make a 1st down. All right, next one that we've got here. 2x2 presentation here with your tight end up here to the top of the field. Now, he never comes back to the opposite side. I do wonder what he was looking at up here. This is a very long developing route. It looks as if he wanted to take the top here with the tight end, and he ends up coming back. Now, this is not a good throw. Let's be clear, not a good throw. I don't know about the decision, but, they're only rushing 3, so he's got plenty of time back here. And Shane Hooks makes an amazing catch, right? Like, that's an amazing catch. Not a great throw, but it's a throw you can live with because unless Hooks tips this back into the field of play, this is either Shane Hooks or nobody, right? And he's trying to throw this, layer this over the top of this guy. He can't put it on a rope, right? He needs to put it over the top of this guy, but you've got a guy who can go up and get it, make it him or nobody. This is to the outside, over the top, and Hooks does a great job of just securing this and getting a foot down inbound. So that's a great catch. Good decision there. Again, you see the tight ends cleared there. They're just running this stop route underneath it. And this is a decent throw, not a great throw, but a decent throw. And Hooks is able to come down inbounds with it because of the athleticism there. All right. I'm assuming there is another receiver down here to the bottom that's off the screen, which makes us back into a 3-by-1 presentation here. So let's take a look at what we've got on this play. It's a handoff. I don't know why I put that in there. Forget that. 2nd and 7 here. Again, looks like a 3-by-1 presentation. And we're just going to quickly get the ball out on a bubble screen to the running back. This is a call play. So really what you want is, and this is not a great throw, right? This throw is well behind. Cobb has to turn all the way around. That's not what you want your running back to have to do in that scenario. You want him to catch it and have momentum, but you get decent blocking to the outside. Not a great block there by Jay Fair, but he's falling down either way. I don't know. A great block by Jay Fair wouldn't have mattered here. So he falls down. This is not a good throw, though. This is a throw that Hank Brown would want back. No pressure on him. You just got to throw this, and this should be coming up the line right here. The reason why this is such a bad throw is if Cobb is unable to catch this, this is a fumble because this is a lateral, right? So you've got to make sure that you throw this out in front of you at least. So where he releases this from is just behind the 20. His aiming point should be just in front of it, right? So Cobb does a good job of bubbling this out. This throw should come more in that direction than it does. So this is a bad throw for a couple of reasons, right? It's a great right decision, bad throw. Because again, if Cobb can't secure this, this ends up being a fumble. So got to be able to throw that a little bit better than he did in that scenario. So hopefully that's not something that's going to be a recurring thing for him. All right. We get into 3rd down here after that play. 3-by-1 with a trips bunch here to the top. Still running out of 11 personnel. So I'd say he probably missed Shane Hooks right here. He's looking for the second guy through. Probably should have hit Shane, the first guy through there. He throws it to Coy Moore, who's the second guy through in this progression. Coy's open, but I'd argue this is open first, and he probably should have hit that. This feels a little predetermined to me. Feels like he had predetermined he's going to throw it to the second guy through on the progression. And this one was open, right? So it's not, and I actually think this is a decent throw that your receiver's got to come down with for you. Coy Moore doesn't catch that one. But it feels a little predetermined to me about where he went with the football on that one and not really reading the defense on that one. So two plays there where I think he could have made a better throw / decision. Again, not going to be perfect, but I think that he's showing some good quarterback play here. And though that's not the best decision of the throws, where he put it when he did decide to throw it was exactly where you want that throw to be able to get that out on front. Should have been a first down with a catch right there from your receiver. Could have been a better throw, right? Like he could have put this more on Coy's body. But this is a I'm a D1 receiver. I should make this catch right here. So this is a drop flat out. Again, throw's not perfect, but if you're a power 4 or power 5 at this time, receiver at this level, you should make this catch. So I put that more on the receiver than I do on the quarterback in that scenario. All right, let's get into this next one. We're going to go right back on 4th down to, they ran a similar situation here. Last time he ran a kind of a slant route here. This time he's going to run a stop route underneath there. Right. So they're basically going to use this to try to suck up this defender right here so that they can throw in behind. Right. So we try to get the space right here to throw in behind that. This guy's going to come through and try to clear. And then you get the second man through, who he reads this as a stop, and Hank Brown reads this as a throw through. So he puts it out in front. I think Hank is trying to avoid this guy right here, but I actually think Shane Hooks might be right in this scenario to sit this route down. This should have been a first down throw. I think, the location on this says that he thought he's going to continue through here, which listen, if he does continue through here, it's probably a touchdown because he's got momentum going back across here and one guy out in front that gives you a little space. So, this is where chemistry comes in. And this is the one thing that you worry about going into this game. What kind of chemistry does he have with the receivers, and what kind of things are they asking him to do? Like they said, they're going to shrink and truncate the play calling book. So they're probably, and this is, in my opinion, when you're talking about shrinking the playbook, that's going to help the receivers even more than the quarterback because they don't have to think about a lot of this. If this happens, then I need to do this type of stuff. It's really more so, am I hot on this play? Do I read myself going, is this slants, RPO fade? Bubble, what are we doing on this play to be able to combat? That should be stuff that gets called out at the line of scrimmage in the initial play call that they're going to read from the sideline rather than some sort of site adjustment. Very few site adjustments need to be happening in this game. It's probably only going to be, hey, we're going to take the go route right here. So stuff like this probably will not happen as much in this game. They'll be thinking the same thing because it's either this route is a slant or it's a some sort of dig across, right? So that's probably going to be more of a play call than a sight read. And that's probably what you will see less of in this game is less sight reads where the quarterback and receiver need to be on the same page and more, this is what we're running. All right. So get into the A&M game and we get his couple of snaps here from this one. Again, just quickly, let's get to the check down. We're not doing too much. We're running this little concept right here with a swing out. So we just need to read who's our flat defender right here. This guy he's quickly onto this because nobody's out here with him with this space that you've got. It's 2nd and 3. And so you're hoping your running back can just go get you a first down. I don't know what it's a couple of times now. Cobb just stumbling, coming out, like trying to make a move, falling. He got a lot of speed, but he ain't got no wiggle, man. He tried to make a move in open space. He's not making people miss. So Cobb, that's one thing I feel like Jeremiah Cobb needs to work on is like we gotta make somebody miss in open space, man. You can't 1-on-1 right here and you need 3 yards. Either run through this man's face or make him miss. You can't get that. This is a scenario where Jeremiah Cobb should have gotten the first down. 1-on-1 in space. You've got 2.5 yards to try to figure out how you're going to make this 3 yards, and you stumble out of it. So, yeah. Get into this 3rd and 1 scenario here. This is the RPO, right? So we're not going to try to run off of this. We're going to get the run fake and then throw in behind it, right? This is the truth of the RPO of what you will see from an RPO team, right? We've got a bunch of space down here to the bottom, right? Your DB is here, your receiver is here. We got all of this space right here. With the run fake, this is going to bring this guy up, right? You see this guy come up, he climbs, so we're just going to throw in behind him. You get a little pressure here, right? It's not too much. He doesn't take a lot of any contact or anything, but it shows, all right, he needs to get the ball out. And because of all this space we're given, and we get Malcolm Simmons, he gets a house call after this because they give a bunch of space here to the top, which is crazy. Like, how do you give this guy this much space? All right, next one here. 2nd and 5 after a first down run. So notice the read here. Again, a lot of space to the outside, and we see the safety come up, right? The safety's coming down in run support to be able to be the force defender, right? So they're reading this, and this isn't even a good snap, right? Like, oh, actually, he bobbles the snap. I won't say it's not a good snap, but this is a good thing to be able to call out about Hank Brown in this scenario. he doesn't panic when he fumbles the snap here, right? He just gets it in his hands and he goes ahead and does what he needs to do. Let me find the ball and just get it out of here. All right. Doesn't panic. Right, you've got this guy sinking underneath this throw that you wanted to be able to take right here to Perry Thompson. I think if he fields this cleanly, he can throw this over the top with no issue. But because he's got to try to figure it out, he doesn't panic. He just gets rid of the football. It's 2nd and 5. We got another down to try to get this 5 yards. I don't need to do anything crazy. I don't need to try to run around back here and see if I can figure out a way to get. It looks like this was going to be a screen, actually. It looked like they were setting up a running back screen to the opposite side because look how far down the field alignment is on this one. So this feels more like a screen than anything. But he's like, look, man, I'm not going to panic. Let me just get rid of the football. Didn't start right, but we've got another down. Go live to play. And again, I get it. It's Alabama A&M, and Peyton Thorne looked like Joe Montana out there. I understand all of those things. I'm not trying to overhype. I'm just talking about what happens out here on the field. Don't kill me for talking about the film. And this is the shot to the end zone. I think what you saw here at the beginning of this was, hey, we're just going to take a shot because we got offsides. And you notice that pre-snap here, Bryce Kane is signaling, hey, I think my guy might be coming on a blitz right here. So he's going to need to read hot off of that. And when it becomes a free play, right, this is actually, this, I didn't point this out earlier, but this is actually good recognition here by Bryce Kane because this guy hadn't really shown the blitz early enough. He realizes his guy is going away pretty quickly in this route, or he feigned it. Actually, he looked like he was going to blitz, and he drops back out of it. But Hank Brown just puts this up to the outside because he's got a free play. And this is a great adjustment to the football by Sam Jackson of like, let me not wait and let the ball fall to me. I'm just going to go attack this in the air and go and get this. So that's an excellent job by Sam Jackson. But hey, just go give your receivers a chance. As a free play anyway. You've got a baked in first down in your back pocket. Let me just go out here and see what we can get. You end up getting a touchdown because he just throws it up here in a place where his guys can go get it. So overall, again, man, I like what you see from Hank Brown as far as the decision making. Let's see what happens when he's the guy who the game plan is built for. And so, we're going to be right back here talking about this next week after the New Mexico game to break down what actually happened with Hank Brown. But I appreciate y'all stopping in with me, man. I'm out of here. I got through all of this in 30 minutes. Holla at y'all the next time. War Eagle. Peace.